We got some really good news today that we found a trade partner for Brandon Albert. Now, yesterday I thought we got some really good news that we were cutting him, getting out from under these injury-prone players like Earl Mitchell, Mario Williams, and B.A. We didn't end up doing that. We ended up actually finding a trade partner, and that trade partner was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars obviously they need to tackle. They just got rid of Kelvin Beachum. They've had offensive line issues ever since they drafted Blake Bortles. He's been one of the more sacked quarterbacks in the league, one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, that you could blame that on the offensive line. You could blame that on Blake Bortles. That is whatever your opinion is on that. But they need a tackle is the point. You know what we also need? We need a tight end. You know what also we need? We need a linebacker. We have been known to take up pretty hefty contracts like Byron Maxwell, more or less so Kiko Alonso, but especially the Byron Maxwell contract. So we've been known to trade into bigger contracts, trying to reconstruct the deal when you come over here. So we've been known to do that. Obviously, whatever they expressed interest in and whatever they offered us was so good that we didn't cut him. Either that or we thought we could get an extra late round pick because we don't have a lot this upcoming draft because of the Leonte Crew trade. We lost a lot of our later round picks, so we could get some more draft picks. But in a dream scenario, more or less so a dream scenario, actually could become a reality just because of his ties to the head coach of obviously Adam Gase. Is Julius Thomas. Now, Julius Thomas at one point in time obviously he's another guy who has struggled with injuries his whole career. This would be an interesting trading for two kind of injury-prone players, but Julius Thomas obviously would fit a need if he could just stay healthy for 14 games, because if we sign back Deion Sims, he could be a guy who could step in for Julius Thomas if he missed like a couple games, 3 or 4 games. So Julius Thomas, the good thing about Julius Thomas is if he can stay healthy, he's one of the best tight ends in the NFL. He's a top 5 tight end, but for sure. He's a big body guy. He's a 50-50 matchup guy. Just go watch tape on how Adam Gase used him. Adam Gase constructed one of the greatest offenses of all time, and Julius Thomas was a big piece of that. We've discussed this before. Adam Gase loves matchup problems. He's that kind of he loves, that's a huge part of his offense. You saw that last year in preseason on all those plays to Jordan Cameron. He loves matchups. If you can get a tight end on a small corner, that's all day. That's his bread and butter. So Julius Thomas fits our system perfectly. He's actually a good blocking tight end in this scheme that Adam uses. He's a big guy. Like I said, he's a great 50-50 ball guy. He's a great fade route guy. He's a great Gronk, like he can run some of the same seam routes that Gronk does. He's a big body, takes up a lot of space, very physical tight end, and can run routes too. And he has some speed. So, and like I said, he's big. So the upside to him is great. Like if you this is like a lot, like you high reward, high risk, high reward type guy. If he doesn't work out, then we won't see him on the field for an entire year, and we have to eat his big contract. And that's a big, unless we can reconstruct his deal, who knows. I know Julius Thomas is very fond of Adam Gase, and it would be a perfect marriage if it did happen. I think he fits our system. He's been in this system. He knows this system, and he could just come in and contribute right away and be a dominant force in the NFL. Now, again, pause, because he's never really been healthy ever in his career, and when he has, he catches 12 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. And Adam uses, like I said, just go back and watch Adam orchestrate that offense, and it's a beautiful thing to watch because he uses matchups so well, and especially in a tight end, like we've talked about many times before, how important a tight end not only is to the play-action game, obviously the run game in this offense, but especially the play-action game. It's extremely important. And to have Jay Ajayi in the backfield, say we retain Kenny Stills, we got DP on the outside, we got Juice in the slot, that's dangerous, man, especially off play action, because Jay Ajayi he's gonna command a lot of attention this upcoming season. So that takes a lot of pressure off Jay, and you better hope Ryan doesn't go back there and fake that ball fake, because if Julius Thomas is on our football team, that's game over. But again, just to kind of put this guy, just to solidly point this into your mind, he is not a healthy player. I do not think we should trade for him. I am not a big I am not an advocate of that. I don't think that would be a good idea because Julius Thomas, like I have said, has been a bust for the Jaguars because when they got him, they thought he could be that dominant force in the NFL. There was that one in Julius Thomas's prime when he was catching 12 touchdowns 2 years in a row. They were arguing who was better, Gronk or Julius Thomas. Now that, I mean, in my opinion, even if there was an argument there to be had, that's pretty impressive. So Julius Thomas is nothing. He's better. He's way better than Martellus Bennett. He's way better than Martellus Bennett. If we can get him and he can stay healthy, that's awesome. But I don't think he can. I really don't think he can. Would that be a good move? I don't know. Would you rather get draft picks? I think so. I think so because we have a tight end loaded draft. There's no reason to get a contract heavy free agent that can't stay healthy, or not free agent but player. I don't know if we should absorb that contract. We have the cap space too, and it would be a very interesting project if he could stay healthy. Because if he could stay healthy, our offense would just get automatic top 10. I think if we retain Kenny, this offense is going to be in the top 10. But this offense could be something special if we got a tight end like that who can stay healthy. Because that is a one in a kind. Like that is, you don't get a lot of tight ends like that. Again, Adam Gase knows how to use him too. So like if he comes in the system, he's not going to take a while to get used to the system. He's going to come in. He's going to contribute right away. Now, this is another scenario that's not going to happen. And again, I'm not a huge advocate for this, but the talent is there. He's young. Miles Jack. Now, Miles Jack, this is a dream scenario, guys. This is probably never going to happen in a million years. But Miles Jack is a player that I did a lot of research on. Well, if you've been a long-time subscriber, we did a lot of draft profiles on. I love Miles Jack. He was going to be a top 15 pick in the NFL if it wasn't for the knee issues. Obviously, that plagued him a little bit down there in Jacksonville. I don't think that was the greatest fit for him. I do not think that was a good environment for any young player to be developed in. But if you give it enough time, Miles Jack could be one of the best linebackers in the NFL. I truly do believe that. I know he did not have a good season last season, but I think Miles Jack could be one of the better linebackers in the NFL. He certainly has the talent to. A lot of people thought he was going to be a future Pro Bowler. A lot of people, if he was healthy and there was no problem, he would have been a top 10 pick. He would have been a top 10 pick, no questions asked. We were actually going to draft him in the second round, but the Jacksonville Jaguars traded up and got him before we could get our hands on him. So that might be a little something to look at, like a dream scenario, a wild card. If you guys, I think Miles Jack would be a perfect fit. And he's a great, you talk about getting young at defensive line. Miles Jack is a great pass rusher. He's a great coverage guy. All UCLA linebackers are great. If you look at Anthony Barr, I think Eric Kendricks, all of them are great. He comes from a great, development college that just keeps turning out great linebackers. So yeah, that is going to be it, guys. I'm Sex1383. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is an interesting topic, and I would love to know what you guys' opinion is. And I'll see you guys in the next one.